Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. We are gonna do another 3 palettes, 3 looks video, and this week we are playing with Simply Posh Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. It's a beautiful, colorful, vibrant shades. Stepping into spring, I feel like this is such an apt palette. I definitely wanted to give it so much more love because I feel like this is such a beautifully curated palette, and the quality of Simply Posh Cosmetics, we all know it's absolutely amazing. The next palette that we're going to play with is Gourmande Girls Peach Perfect palette. I definitely had to give it a little bit more love. This palette is such a favorite for so many people, so I definitely wanted to dip more into like warmer tones with this palette. I really love the look that I created with this palette too. And last, certainly not the least, the look that you're seeing on me right now is from Jewels and Gems palette from Odens. This is such a beautiful palette. This was like one of my favorites for last year. I cannot wait for you guys to see how this look was curated. So if you guys are ready to see all the 3 looks using these palettes, please keep on watching. Okay, let's begin the look with our Aurora Lights palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. I'm going to start off with this shade Bright, and I am going to take that mainly in the inner part of the crease. I already have this makeup from like the morning, and it's pretty much evening here. I had so many meetings today. I was like, when am I gonna get the time to finish my meetings and then start recording? And Lord behold, my day in office ends at 5 o'clock, and I was like, okay, 5 o'clock I should be ready to go and record. And then my kids got hold of me and they were like, Mama, can you play this, that? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I started playing. I was like, oh, it's 5:30. I need to go. Okay, let's move on to the deeper shade. I'm going to start off with this shade now, Magnetic. And I'm going to take that magnetic shade pretty much in the outer corner of the eye. Not going to take it too far. I really love this tone of blue. I'm going to take that right there, right in the outer corner. Now once we have that, let's take another blending brush, and now I'm going to take this shade, Breathtaking, and I'm going to take Breathtaking like joining my pink shade, but also I want this in my crease. I'm not taking it all across or melting it. I'm going to take one more shade, but I just want that to be like the crease shade, but also like a melting shade between that pink that we applied first. Just want a hint of this. Okay, just right there. And now I'm going to take this shade Surreal, this beautiful blue, in the outer corner, and then I'm just gonna melt it and blend the deeper blue. I hardly do super colorful makeup, but Aurora Lights calls for it. Okay, now I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna take this shade Brilliant, and I'm gonna take that on my entire lower lash line. Just gonna dip into the first shade Bright and just blending it out. Okay, right there. Now time for some shimmers. Let's take the shade Magical, this one, and I'm gonna take that mainly in the outer corner in a diagonal format. I love to use brushes with Simply Posh Cosmetics shadows. I feel like you don't get any fallout, you get a lot of sparkle this way. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I am a person who actually do get a lot of creasing with my shadows, but Simply Posh Cosmetics shadows never creases on me, which is a huge plus point in my opinion. I do have a code with Simply Posh Cosmetics, and it is Smithy to save you 10% off. So pretty, right? Love it. Okay, now I'm just gonna clean my brush, And I'm gonna dip into this shade, this hot pink shade, which is dazzling. And I'm gonna take that and put that in my inner part of the lid and then melt it across. And just to melt both of those shades together, I'm also going to take this electric shade right in the center, just to melt everything together. It's like a blue, green, purple kind of shade, which is perfect as a bridging shade right there. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and for the inner corner I am going to take this shade and just plop it right there. So let me come right back, and that's my final look. I really love the way how this palette is curated. If you are a colorful lover, if you love some pastel-y neon shades with like muted grungy shades, this palette is gonna be perfect for you. I feel like this is such a apt name for this palette. Aurora Lights is like, it's a perfect name for this palette. I really love the way how this was curated. I always have loved how Simply Posh Cosmetics does like lighter tone mattes and then deeper tone mattes and then duochromes in the middle. I absolutely love them. I cannot wait to create more with this palette. I really love this palette. Now let's move on to the next look. Okay, let's begin our next look with the Peach Perfect palette from Gourmande Girls. Such a beautiful, like a quality palette. I absolutely love it. And if you love peach and greens, I feel like this one is just perfect for you. So let's begin. I definitely want to dip into peaches and greens together, hence the name. Let's see how we're gonna. Okay, let's start off with this Peach Perfect shade, and I'm gonna take that mainly in the inner part of the crease, and this is pretty much like my skin tone shade. So actually let's just take this all across the transitioning area, just so that the blend is smooth and seamless. Yeah, this is pretty much my skin tone shade. Like you would hardly see any difference there, right there. I'm gonna take this shade, which is the Peach Boys, and I'm gonna take that in the crease. Now this will give a beautiful peachy background for us. Stunning shade. This quality is absolutely amazing. I love Gourmande Girls quality, and this is just outstanding. Okay, now let's dip into this shade, which is Life's a Peach, this green shade, and I'm gonna take that in the rest of the crease right there, and we'll deepen it out with another shade, but I want to keep this green shade right there in the outer portion. For a monochromatic look, if you put this shade, if you're my skin tone, if you put this shade in the inner part of the crease and then deepen it out with either the brown or the deeper greens, it will be amazing too. I just wanted to play with the peaches and the greens together today. I probably should have checked what look I did before when I played with this palette on camera. I'm not sure whether I did a peach or a green shade. Most probably yes, because I'm gravitated towards those kind of looks. I'm gonna take that same green shade on the lower lash line too. Okay, just right there. Okay, now for the extreme outer corners, what are we doing? Let's take this green shade, which is Peach Out. I'm gonna take that. Oh, look at that green, stunning. I'm gonna tap that in the outer corner and blending it with that sagey green, so that that seamless blend is going on still. Such a pretty shade. I'm actually gonna take that same green shade on a pencil brush on the lower lash line. I want to say this brush is so amazing for like a pinpointing shade. I personally, I do not like a blown out green look, but this pencil brush from Simply Posh Cosmetics, that brush set, although that brush set, all of it is so affordable and they're amazing brushes, but look how tiny this brush is. It is so perfect for pinpointing on the lower lash line. I love when I'm especially playing with greens and blues. This brush comes in super handy. I'm gonna first start off with this shade, Papa Don't Peach, this one. And this would be my inner part of the lid shade. This is such a stunning shade. I don't even mind taking this all across my eyelid because this has like a green shift. It'll go very nicely with both the shadows. Really pretty shade. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade, which is Georgia Peach, this one, and I'm gonna take that and just tap it right in the bridging gap of that green and that peachy shimmer, just right there, just for something special. So pretty. And I'm just gonna melt everything together in the crease. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna take this shade, Peaches and Cream, and plop that right there, just for the added brightness. And I'm also gonna take that same shade underneath the brow bone, just for the lifted effect. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my final look. I really love the way how this turned out. It's so pretty, it's so effortless, but something special at the same time. This quality of the Peach Perfect palette from Gourmande Girls, if you've not tried and if you love this color story, I don't think you'll be disappointed one bit with this. This is such a pretty palette. You can definitely get some monochromatic looks of like orangey peachy looks as well as green looks. You also have a variety of like this beautiful pinky mauvey kind of shade, which also takes it to another level. This green is so very special in my collection. This is such a special shade. I absolutely love the quality of this palette, and the looks that has come out of this palette has absolutely blown my mind. I really love it. I wanna say the blush that I am wearing with this look is from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and this one is in the shade Warm. This is from the newer collection, the lot that they launched their new liquid blushes with, so I do wanted to keep that in mind. And the lipstick that I'm wearing is actually an older lipstick from Too Faced. This is from the Melted Matte line, and this one is in the shade Caramel Apple. So that's what I have on my lips. So that's all. Now let's move on to the next eye look. Let's go for the last look using Jewels and Gems palette. I am so excited to dip back into this. It's a beautiful color story. I'm interested in this. Everything just screams out to me. It's muted, it's dimensional, it is beautiful. Let's start off. I definitely want to go these three for sure. Maybe this too. I think that would make sense. Let's do that. I'm going to start off with the outer corner. I'm going to start off with my crease shade. And let's take this first, which is Heaven. It's a muted purpley shade. Depending on your skin tone, it's deep enough for your outer corners too. So I'm going to first take that pretty much all across the crease. Doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm focusing first on the outer corner and then blending it out in the crease, just so that it softens out the shade a little bit. It's such a beautiful muted purple. I'm actually wearing this color pants today. So I feel like this cool tone look today would be amazing. For a second, I thought I did not hit record. That would have been amazing. I'm gonna take that same Heaven shade on my lower lash line too. Just wrapping it across. Okay, now I'm gonna take a loose blending brush, like a softer blending brush. And I'm gonna dip into this shade, Ecstasy, this first shade, and I'm gonna take that in my inner part of the crease. It's definitely a lighter shade, and this would help to brighten up the inner part. And also we will take that as a blending shade for that mid-tone muted purple shade. Look how beautifully that just melted everything together. And you don't need a lot here, just a little bit would do. I'm just grazing that over my lower lash line too, just to melt everything, just right there. Okay, now for the outer corner, I am gonna dip into, we can definitely go this route also or this route. Let's take this. I don't think I have melted this and this together, and I'm gonna take that in the outer corner and just patting it right there for the added depth. Just right, that's perfect. I'm taking whatever is left over on the extreme outer corners of the lower lash line too, just to tie in everything together. Now we definitely have all the depth that we are looking for. Dipping back into that heaven shade and just melting the edges. That's perfect. I'm gonna take a little bit of NYX glitter glue for our shimmers. Okay, now for the shimmer, let's take this Rhapsody shade. This is such a beautiful shade. Okay, let's take that, and I'm taking that all across my eyelid. That should be the star of the show for this look. Look how stunning and dimensional that is. So wet looking on the eyes too. I really love it. It's one of my favorite palettes from Odens Eye. It's so pretty. The color story definitely resonates with me so much. Now just to melt that shimmer into that deeper shade, I'm gonna take this shade Exhilaration, which is a little bit of purple, but it's a little bit of deeper purple. I'm just gonna take that as a melting shade right there. So it just smoothly flows into the deeper shade. Now for the inner corner, I am gonna take this shade Elatedness, this one. It's such a beautiful baby pink. If you have a lighter skin tone, that as a highlighter is also amazing. It will give you a little bit of sparkle on your cheeks, so do keep that in mind, but otherwise it's such a stunning shade. I'm going to take actually a little bit of Intoxication and Sozzle mixed together for my outer corner. Now let me wrap up this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back to show you my final look. And that's my final look. I love the way how this Jewels and Gems palette is curated. It is such a beautiful, everyday but a little bit of special dimensional palette. It's colorful but muted at the same time, which I absolutely love. Oh, the sun is coming in, so let's wrap up this video. I love the look that is created with all of these three palettes. Do let me know in the comment section below, out of the three looks, which one was your favorite. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.